thank all of the counselors for the many days and nights and hours that have been put into this budget. I especially appreciate, I know Councilor Myers and myself, an invitation to sit in as the mayor prepared his budget, which was a little bit of a different way. It hasn't quite been done that way, but it was an opportunity for us to look at literally every nickel and dime that was being spent in this budget. Along the way, we also had an opportunity to look at the revenue side, and that certainly was enlightening. And as you stated earlier, we can't grow ourselves out of, you can grow yourself to prosperity, but you can't cut yourself to prosperity. And on the revenue side, there are many opportunities. And in fact, after this budget passes, plans are to start the 2014 budget process in early January. Councilor Van Buren has already started a great big list as a part of what we've done in this budget to start looking at the revenue side, because there are some great opportunities for enhancing revenue. For example, the marina, which I know we looked long and hard at that decision when we purchased it, but the good news is that marina made more money than it cost us this past year. And yes, the marina was not full, but there was opportunity to do a lot more of that marina, and we need to look at those things very carefully as a city, how we manage those assets, and we have many assets like that, and other opportunities for revenue. The realities of this year's budget were pretty quickly realized when we saw, for example, the cost of pensions. Our pension costs for fire and police alone this year exceeded what we paid for all the pension costs for all the employees last year. That's a reality check. The NRG reassessment, the loss of $525,000 directly to our coffers and property tax was a reality check. When you generated $7 to $8 million in property tax revenues and you lose $525,000, that's a tough pill to swallow. And that's what we had to look at as we began the budget process. We met with every department head, many of them more than once. And as a result, we had other discussions. As many of you know, the towns of Oswego and Meadow and Sprigo now have a private ambulance service that will be servicing them as of the 1st of January. Through this process, it became very apparent to us that our city taxpayers should not be subsidizing the cost of ambulance service outside of the city. Yes, we care about public safety first and foremost, and that's our ambulance service and fire department and police department the best possible service, and we are very proud of what they do. But our taxpayers can't be subsidizing those services outside this county or outside of this city. It's inherently unfair to our taxpayers. And as a result, I consider a win-win-win for everybody. Because now the towns and its taxpayers no longer pay the city of Oswego for ambulance service. We have a private ambulance company that is setting up shop, I believe, in the city of Oswego, where they'll have a building, they'll pay property taxes, they'll be hiring some folks to work in the private ambulance corps, and as a result, we were able to reduce the amount of calls to our department by 20%, which also lent us some opportunity with respect to this budget, looking carefully at where and how we spend our resources. We also, as part of this process, met with Brookfield as an example. Everyone understands that our high dam is a great revenue source for the city, but unfortunately, when you don't have rain, you don't have water. If you don't have water, you don't make power. If you don't make power, you don't make money, and that's what happened a little bit at this to the city this year. We looked very carefully at the revenue, at that particular source of revenue, and wanted to understand which we were and how Brookfield was complementing and taking advantage, hopefully, of every opportunity they could to generate revenue for this city. And in fact, we did find out that we generated about 77% of capacity this year. Brookfield planned about 74%. I think we're all very satisfied that we got our best bang for our buck with the contract that we had with Brookfield, and thank you for that. As the mayor stated, this budget process included no layoffs, and that's a commitment that each and every one of us made and stuck to. and this budget reflects that. Certainly, there's things in this budget that are big changes, and I don't doubt that change causes a lot of trials and tribulations for folks. When you talk about closing the West Side Fire Station, when you talk about reducing shift sizes from 16 to 14, when you talk about working with 10 men on a shift instead of 12 men on a shift, or minimum of 10, and when you take the gigantic cuts to overtime that are reflected in especially the fire department budget, all those things I know that are huge changes. But we look carefully at each and every dollar. We are not trying to undermine public safety. We're trying to protect this city and its resources and the people who live here. I think it's important that we all do come together. We work as a team. It's always tough to go through a process like this, and certainly the discussion and deliberation and the difference of opinion is also very important coming up with good decisions.